Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the madness. And after yesterday's sneak peek, man, which gave us confirmation that we are getting Hydro Man and Molten Man as a part of update 5.2, my excitement for this update is at an all-time high. And it's not even because of those two, it's simply because of the fact that we got another look at this guy's uniform that he's going to be getting for Far From Home. Because as you all know, I'm a big-time Spider-Man fan. I'm a 7-day sucker when it comes to Spider-Man because he's such a big part of my childhood, so much so that literally every single time that this guy gets a uniform, even though I know logically I know that is not going to be enough to make him a big part of the meta in this game, I still go out of my way to buy them just because I want to have them because of the fact that I love Spider-Man so much. No disrespect to Netmarble, these last two, even though they have been much better than the one that came before them, they haven't been enough for Spider-Man to be relevant in this game. And I'm hoping that after waiting for a year and a half to finally bring this guy up to tier 3, I can do that with confidence with these next two uniforms that he's going to be receiving, because that is going to be uniform number 6 and number 7. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of the most, like, oh my goodness, he's one of the characters in this game that has the most uniform, him and Captain America. And Captain America is finally like top dog in Marvel Future Fight, so I'd love to see the same treatment for Spider-Man. And damage is what we need, because where we are right now in Marvel Future Fight, damage is king. Once upon a time, iframe and crowd control dominated this game. Those days are dead. Okay, those days were Spider-Man having 4 iframes, or 5 if you have him up at tier 3, right, and immense crowd control. Those days where that was enough for him to dominate, those days are done. In PvP, the iframes are not going to do jack because we have characters, plenty of characters now that have iframe ignore. So as soon as he jumps into an iframe, even with really high dodge, he's going to get massacred. In addition to that, his webs don't work in PvP because everybody's running debuff removal. In addition to that, you take him out of PvP, you put him into PvE, and in World Boss Ultimate, the bosses, all of them have 2 to 3 skills that can hit him while he's in iframes. In addition to that, his webs, his stuns, they don't work there. Bosses are immune to that. So what are you left with? You're left with a character that has mediocre DPS and not so good survivability. Quite sad indeed. So damage is king where we are right now in Marvel Future Fight. So much so that a character like, let's say for example, Gambit, a character like Gambit with next to no survivability, a character that every time you play him, no disrespect to Gambit, I absolutely love him and I think he's a lot of fun to play, but the facts still remain. Every single time you use Gambit, you spend the majority of the fight running around and using one skill for the entire duration of that fight. And know that if you make one mistake, you get hit once, it's a wrap for you, right? But because his damage is so high, he's hailed as one of the best characters in the game. His damage at level 60 is probably like 3 times more than what you can get out of a tier 3 Spider-Man. That's Crayola. That's crazy. So we need more damage for Spider-Man. And I'm hoping that Netmarble doesn't plan to stick to the same formula of just iframe, and crowd control, because we don't need any more of that, okay? Let's keep the iframes and the crowd control on these uniforms for if those days ever come back. Let's get some amazing DPS on Spider-Man so he can finally do work in World Boss Ultimate, because even if he loses some survivability and some crowd control, having at least 1 or 2 skills that have amazing DPS will still make him a lethal character for PvP, right? Because PvP comes down to whoever kills who first at this point in the game. Right, so having iframes and all that stuff, you don't really need that necessarily, because as soon as you jump into those iframes, Captain Marvel's right there for your ass, right? So yeah. Anyways, boys, I don't want to ramble too long. I wanted to showcase a little bit of gameplay with him today in some Shadowland where his iframe and his crowd control actually work, and then in World Boss Ultimate where that can't save him. So I'm really hoping that Netmarble actually decides to switch up the formula this time around. We're gonna run stage 51, which is about as high as I can go with Spider-Man. We're gonna run the Sister Grimm relay right here, and I'll showcase him a little bit for you guys, man. I'm happy that he's finally gonna get a new uniform after waiting, because I was kind of hoping that something was gonna happen for him for endgame, you know what I'm saying? But since nothing happened, I'm hoping that Netmarble does some major work on whatever it is that they're going to do to his Far From Home uniforms, because I'm gonna buy both of them regardless, but I don't want to feel like I'm getting ripped and I'm getting like milked because I'm just a super fan, because I know I'm not the only one out there that's a really big, like, it's not even like a guess. Like, I know there's bigger Spider-Man fans out there than me simply because I don't have them at tier 3, right? And it's not because I lack the resources. You guys know I have plenty. I've had 10 books sitting for Spider-Man since the day he got his tier 3. I just can't justify it simply because of the cost, and I know he's not improving that much. But his crowd control for Shadowland is amazing, and if the days of crowd control being one of the best things in this game ever come back, then yeah, I mean, Spider-Man is going to be even better than he's ever been, right? But for right now, crowd control isn't really much outside of Shadowland. Now, I'm not trying to shit on Shadowland or anything like that, because we all know that the Shadowland rewards are some of the best in the game. But I'm just saying, like, we need more than that. We need more than crowd control. We need more than iframes. And if you guys pay attention, I've been using Spider-Man with one hand this whole time. I haven't touched the D-pad, literally just using his skills like whenever they come off cooldown. Don't even need a rotation, and enemies, like, they're being crushed unmercifully just because of how good his crowd control is. Like, the iframes, even if the iframes weren't here, just because of how good his crowd control is, they still wouldn't be able to do jack. So he's actually a really good character under these circumstances, but you give a couple characters in here iframe ignore, right? He's immediately gonna start looking a little worse, especially if they have debuff removal, right? So yeah, man, let me know how you guys think this thing is gonna play out. Personally, I'm hoping for some major improvements for him, because right now, even with almost maximum raid level, look at my raid level, guys. Raid level 495, okay? The max is 499. Just keep that in mind. The best I can do with this guy is like 40. We used to shit on Ant-Man for not being able to do this. Ant-Man can do work now. So we need, hold up. My bad. See, I was actually not even paying attention. Let me actually switch up this team. I don't know why I have ignore dodge strikers here. But yeah, we need more damage than we currently have on Spider-Man. Let me actually switch out these strikers here real quick. I don't know why. Actually, because I was testing him on Corvus, and the best I can do against Corvus as well is like 40. So yeah, man, we need more than this out of Spider-Man, for real. No more, you gotta come correct, right? Uniforms number 6 and 7 for Spider-Man better be something amazing, for real. Otherwise, I'm gonna riot. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to rage and cuss you guys out, man, because seriously, I'm not in that space right now, right? But if I have to do that, oh my goodness, we gonna have to do it. So you see what I'm saying? Like, when you can't web up the enemy and keep them at your mercy. Also, they really gotta fix that blur that is caused by Nick Fury being on your team or whatever, because it's actually like really annoying. Every time he strikes for you, like, you'll notice that there's that blur. They gotta fix that. It's actually annoying. But yeah, it's actually quite sad that stage 40, like stage 40 Proxima, don't get me wrong, stage 40 Proxima isn't the worst thing in the world, but for real, we gotta get more than this out of Spider-Man from a legendary uniform, you know what I'm saying? I'm only missing one of the options. Like, for real, we gotta do better than this, Netmarble. We gotta do better than this. Like, I'm hoping that in a week I can come back in here with a normal uniform and Spider-Man's gonna be cutting through this with so much ferocity. Ferocity. There we go. Words. English. Do you even speak it, my guy? Anyways, I'm hoping that in a week we can come back in here and Spider-Man can just cut through this thing like butter and we can finally put some respect on his name. Hold up, let me actually tag there, right? All right, let's go. Oh, okay, now you want to play these games? You want to play these games? Nah. Coulson, there we go. Oh boy. We are in a little bit of trouble. Hold up. We're gonna need anti-venom for the heals. Where you at, anti-venom? Come on, anti-venom. Oh, I see you with the heals coming through. You clutch. You. Ooh, hold on. Oh, we got a little bit of healing there. We didn't get all of it because Proxima is trying to snipe me while I'm trying to grab the heals, bro. Ooh, hold on. Oh. Nice try. Yo, she's actually trying the hardest to kill me right now. Every time we land out of an iframe, oh boy. Yeah, like we struggling. Like we went from like completely dominating in Shadowland thanks to the webs and the crowd control, to like, look at this, we're struggling. Like you take away the webs, you put in a couple skills that can hit him while he's in iframes, and the fight just completely turns upside down, right? So this is what I'm talking about, man. Like they gotta do better than this. Like when he has the crowd control working for him, he looks like such a god tier character, but then you take away the crowd control and you see that he's not really much. He's not really much to look at, and it's quite unfortunate. All right. And we can take him out of here and we can look at the fact that, sure, this is Proxima. She's a pretty difficult boss, but we could go up against Corvus and it's the same deal, right? It's the same deal. And speed characters have an advantage here. And even on stage 40, he's still not going to be much better. Like, let's actually give him back those ignore dodge strikers. And we're just going to run through a little bit of this fight so you guys can see, man. Like, we really need a lot of help. We need a lot of help, Netmarble. We need to come correct, man. You guys gotta come better than this, right? You gotta come better than this. Okay, I gotta watch out for when this guy stabs. There we go. Whew. Thankfully, that dodge saved my life because he can't take any kind of bleed damage. Let's actually tag him there. Like, most of the characters that we're getting in 2019, no uniform, can do like 50 plus for me, right? They can do 50 plus for me. So Spider-Man with a legendary uniform with Urus and all, he gotta be able to do better than this, guys. You know what I'm saying? Okay, hold up. The great thing about Spider-Man is he's immune to the blade twisters. They can still guard break him, obviously, but he's immune to, like, the snare. So that's really, really good. Like, having Wanda in here, mind controlling him, is making him look so good right now. And we wouldn't need Wanda if Spider-Man had at least one skill that had webs on it that applied to world bosses. That could actually be a thing. If Netmarble wanted it to be, if they wanted to keep him like how he is right now, where he's reliant on webs and iframes, they gotta come correct and they gotta make it so that a couple of his web skills actually work against these bosses. If they did that, then sure, they can keep up the same. They can keep up the same pattern that they've been sticking to for all this time, right? But if they're not going to do that and they're just gonna keep the webs as they are right now, where the bosses are immune to it, and hold up, oh really, I came back into that, and everybody can just run debuff, and hold up, oh boys, okay, and everybody can just run debuff and get rid of it, then they gotta just give us a Spider-Man uniform that, if anything, takes away 90% of the webs, leave like one web skill, but just give us way more damage. I'm cool with that. I know we don't have a Spider-Man without webs. I get it, you know what I'm saying? We can't have a Spider-Man without webs, but we gotta have a Spider-Man with more than just webs. If you guys get where I'm coming from, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool that he has the webs and it's his signature thing, but Spider-Man is a character that's strong enough to like literally knock out the Hulk. And we need one uniform that showcases that Spider-Man's actually like that physically dominant. Right? He's literally like physically one of the strongest characters in the MCU. I know they don't really showcase that too often, right? Because they want to focus on the fact that he's more of an acrobat, he's a jokester and all that stuff. But Spider-Man's actually freaking powerful, and we need that. We need a uniform that signifies that. So I'm hoping that with uniform number 6 and 7, right, that's what we finally get. Because we need more than this, bro. We need more than this. And I'm actually like, wow, really? Okay, this guy blitzed the map and then he's gonna try and blitz it again. Like, this is going nowhere fast, boys. Anyways, man, you guys see where this is going. We're actually like really struggling here. We're really struggling here. Nick Fury could walk through this like cake. But let's be honest now, in the comics, you put Nick Fury and Spider-Man head to head, and we know who's winning, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we need some balance. It would be cool to see Nick Fury get another uniform, but seriously, guys, we need more than anything else, man. We need an amazing uniform for Spider-Man in this update. I don't want to keep you guys here super long, and I also don't want to go in too much on Netmarble because we're a week away, and hopefully we'll be having a whole new discussion when he gets uniforms number 6 and 7. Also, Netmarble, I'm definitely gonna have to address this in another video, but I hope they didn't think we forgot that Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and a few others need their just dues. That's all I'm gonna say for now. I'm gonna keep watching. But anyways, boys, thank you guys so much. And let me know what you guys think, man. Do you guys think we'll finally get a top tier Spider-Man in Marvel Future Fight that can actually hang with the big boys and put out big boy damage? Or do you guys think the pattern of just webs, iframe will continue until the end of time? Because let's be honest, these 2 uniforms that we're getting for Spider-Man right now, I can guarantee you, I'm willing to bet my life on it, that they're definitely not the last uniforms we're ever going to see for Spider-Man. That's a fact. All right, boys. So anyways, man, I'll catch you guys in the next one.